Corey Taylor of Slipknot and Stone Sour with us. How are you doing?
I am moist.
Moist.
Moily,
it's
as
nice
we
to
say.
see you in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
It is moist here.
It's nice to smell me in
yeah,
Jacksonville, Florida.
I've been telling everybody who's coming within any 3 feet, don't smell me.
Oh no, you're fine. You're
All
fine. I on the other hand, I've been declared a toxic waste dump at this point. It's brutal. So. And then putting the crap on later is, oh God, I don't know how my wife even looks at me.
Do you guys ever walk through a car wash to wash?
No. I mean, that would be silly. I mean, that would be just, it would be smart, but it would be silly.
So you just stink. Stink.
We just moil it up, We get all oogie down there. Yeah, it's gross.
I like that. Oogie. I like oogie better than moist.
Oogie. Moist is one of those words you either dig or you don't.
It's
I know a friend of mine who really hates it, so I'm gonna probably say it a lot and then send him the link to this. Moist. Yeah.
So Corey Taylor with us. You're in Slipknot mode, even as Stone Sour has a new EP that was just released. What's most confusing about being in two active bands at the same time?
Nah, it's easier than you think, because then you show up and it's like a totally different group of people. It's like, oh yeah, I know you people. Yeah, this is fine. I mean, it's musically, it keeps me so in tune because I know there's a certain style that Slipknot has and then there's a certain style that Stone Sour has. So I can kind of, it's very easy for me to get in the mindset with either one very quickly.
The new Slipknot album couldn't have been easy to make, 0.5 The Great Chapter. What's the hardest way casualties, literally and figuratively, force a band to reevaluate itself?
It's a painful process, It's I don't wish it on anybody. But when you have something like Slipknot that you kind of all have to take a look at and go, we still want to do this and we still want to do this a certain way, it's hard, like you have to, you're dealing with the loss of your brother. B, you're parting ways with someone who was a huge part of this band. And it's like, okay, how do you fill in the blanks, and at the same time, tell the story of the loss of that person, and really try to work it out musically. It was tough, but we did the best we could, and I feel like it's probably our strongest album in a long, long time, and it was a statement.
For you personally, Corey, what would have been your biggest regret if you hadn't made 0.5 The Great Chapter?
Probably not getting to say enough about what Paul meant to me. It's only in retrospect that we really realize what we had until it's taken away from us. And when Paul died, it really readjusted me in a huge way, man. Not only in the way I am towards life and towards my career, but just how I am towards the people that I care about, So I've kind of retroactively been trying to give Paul as the credit that he was due for years, because when you're younger and there's just this level of selfishness that you're so afraid to let go of. People have to know what you did. And as I've gotten older, I realize that's just such weak sauce. It's actually stronger to give the credit to the people who it's due. And my only regret is that I didn't give it to Paul when he was alive. And I'll have to live with that. But now with this album, it was very important for me to kind of share that and share the emotions that we all kind of went through when we lost him, and to just dedicate an album to a person who was such a huge part for us.
The Slipknot Summer's Last Stand tour kicks off July 24th.
Yes.
Talk about the package you put together. I mean, huge.
Yeah. It's really good. It's
lineup.
kind of our FU to the pop world, Everybody says that, rock is dead, metal is dead. And I'm like, really? Then that zombie's going to bite you in the face, So this is our way of putting together, a package with some bands that we absolutely love, not only Bullet for My Valentine, but Lamb of God and Motionless in White was a great newer band. It's just a package that kind of represents what we're all about, and going out and sharing the stage with some friends and some people who have kind of grew up listening to us. It's kind of a big deal, So we're trying to wear the medal with pride.
I got a chance to talk to Chris Motionless earlier, and he is so psyched
Yeah?
about that tour.
Good,
Oh my gosh, he's
good,
counting down.
good,
He's like,
good.
I can't believe this is happening. So.
He's a good kid, man. He's a
Yeah.
really nice dude.
He
And
really is.
He really is. I mean, you can see that he's passionate about it. And that's one of the reasons why, we wanted to take those guys out, because they mean it, And not a lot of people in this world mean it anymore, and they really want it. So, whatever we can do to help them.